So in this tutorial, I'll show you how to animate with my favorite free animation program, Krita, which is sort of like Photoshop. It's great for painting backgrounds, but also for doing frame-by-frame animation. All the download links and time codes for the different chapters in this video will be available in the video description below. Also, if you'd like to download the source files and animation examples we created, they're available in the Gumroad link below, so make sure to check that out. Once we're on Krita's website, we're going to go up to Download, and we want the Krita desktop version. And the installer I'm going to use is 64-bit installer, but they also have a 32-bit, and it's also available for Windows, Mac, and Linux, which I really like. So we're going to click our installer, and a window will pop up asking where to download the installer. So save it somewhere where you'll be able to access it later, like the desktop. So we'll go ahead and click save, and once the download's done, you'll see it in your download bar down here, or you can navigate to the folder where it's saved. We'll double click it to install Krita, and if you're new to Windows, it may ask you if you really want to run this program. We know this program's safe, so go ahead and click run. Then we'll click next to set it up, accept the terms and agreements, click next, and just install it in the default folder. And I leave all this stuff checked when I'm installing it usually. We'll go ahead and click I agree again, install it into our start menu folder, and we'll also create a desktop icon so we can open it later. And click install and the program will install. And once it says completed on the top left, we're going to go ahead and click next, and finish. So I'll go ahead and open up Krita by double clicking on its icon. So when you first open up Krita, it will look like this. To create a new image, we're going to go up to File, New, and we'll create a new document. I'll usually just go under Custom Documents, and I'll set it to 1920 by 1080 at 72 pixels per inch. And if you want to save this for future use, you can type in the name of your format and then click Save. And then next time you want to use the same format, it'll be in this drop-down menu. So we'll go ahead and click Create, and we have a new blank document, which we can go ahead and start drawing in. So let's figure out how to navigate in Krita. So to zoom in and out, it's minus and plus on your keyboard, on the top right by the backspace button. To pan around, hold down the space bar and your cursor will become a hand, and you can move around your page this way. To draw, we're going to grab our brush tool, which is right here, or we could press B as in boy to quickly get to our brush. Now the default brush may not be the brush that you want, so the window that I like to use is usually this brush preset window over here. And if you don't see that, go under Settings, Dockers, and Brush Presets. We'll be using the Dockers later, so note that our animation and our timeline Dockers are located here. We'll be using those later, but for now, we're just going to go into our brush presets, and you can see there's a whole bunch of them. Probably too much to pick from. So what I like to do is I use this drop down, and I look for the kind of brush that I want to use. And then I can select it, and start using these kind of brushes. So this wet one is kind of nice for doing painting, like backgrounds or something of that sort. Ink is good for sketching and doing your doodles. And you'll notice that I'm getting pressure sensitivity, so when I press harder, I have a thick line, and when I let go and press more softly, I get a thin line. So this is because I am using a tablet to draw. I'm actually not using my mouse. If I were to use my mouse, it would look more like this. It's kind of clunky, and there's no pressure sensitivity, but you totally can animate with a mouse, but I would highly recommend getting a drawing tablet. If you want a cheap drawing tablet that I would recommend, I put one in the video description below. If you want to erase something, the eraser is located at the top. This is also where your settings are for every tool that you use. So the eraser is this eraser button here, and that'll turn whatever brush you're using into an eraser. So if, say you're using a softer brush like this one, it'll be a soft kind of erase. Whereas if you're using a hard brush like this one, and you switch it to eraser, it's going to do more of a hard edge erasing. Let's talk about layers, which you can access by clicking this Layers tab right here. If you don't see the Layers panel, you can go up to Settings, Dockers, and Layers. And if your workspace ever gets messed up, you can always go to Window, Workspace, and then Default, and it'll set everything back to its default position. So the way you can think of layers is kind of like stacks of paper. So the layer that's on the bottom is going to be the bottommost stack of paper. The layer on top of it will be on top, but then on top of that layer may be another stack of paper. So that one will be the top layer. So the top piece of paper is going to be what's seen in front, and the bottom piece of paper is what's going to be seen in the back. So to create a new layer, we go down to our Create New Layer button right here in our Layers panel, and that'll add a new layer on top. Usually by default, Krita will already have a layer with a white background on it. If you wanted to get rid of a layer, you just select the layer and then click this trash can, and the layer will disappear, and we now have a transparent image with no background. So here's my first layer, and I'm going to create a second layer by clicking this New Layer button down here. Or I could also go up to Layer, New, and select Paint Layer. So if you have one layer on top and you want to move it underneath, simply click and drag it underneath the layer you want, and then the other layer will appear on top. If you wanted to duplicate a layer, you could go down to this Duplicate Layer button, and you'll have a second copy of your layer. So here's a really cool feature in Krita. If we right-click, a window will appear showing all the tools that we can select as well as a color picker. The way this menu works is it selects from this brush preset window. If you'll remember, we had all these different selections. So if we click this menu button right here, you'll see all the same options. So I can select mix for mixing colors, or I can select ink for all my ink tools. You can also change the setting of the tool you have selected by clicking this arrow tool here, and you can change the size, opacity, and other options. If you'd like to create a new loadout for this menu, you can go under your brush preset window and click this tag drop down here and create a new tag by typing it in and pressing enter. And you'll see right now it's blank, there's nothing added to it. We can add a brush by right-clicking on a brush, assign the tag, and then selecting our newly created tag, or we can create a new tag down here. So if I right-click and add some brushes to my newly created tag, and then select that tag from this menu button, you'll see all the brushes that we added. So that's how you can customize it. But I like the demo that it has by default. It has a pretty good selection of tools to pick from, and you can also choose your colors in your color picker here. Then to get rid of it, just right-click again. You can also choose your colors over here with this color wheel. You can select what hue you want by dragging around this circle, and you can change how bright or how dark or how saturated your color is by going towards one of the edges of the triangle. If you're more used to, say, a Photoshop kind of color picker, you can click this menu button right here, and then in this drop-down menu, you can select a color picker that's more suited to what you like to use. If you look on the top left up here, you'll see two different colors, a foreground color and a background color. And also this black and white button. If you click the black and white button, it'll reset your colors back to black for the foreground and white for the background. If you click on one of these squares, you can select what color you want it to be. So if we set red for our foreground and blue for our background, whatever color is in the foreground is what you're going to paint with. If you want to switch to the background color, you can click this back and forth arrow up here, or you can press the hotkey of X, and it'll switch to your background color. If you wanted to fill an object in, you can use this paint bucket tool right here. The paint bucket will fill in with whatever foreground color you have selected. You can also, with the paint bucket tool, turn on the eraser mode, just like with our brush, and use it to erase objects. Pretty cool. If you wanted to select a certain color, you could use the eyedropper tool over here and click to select what color you'd like to use. Or, if you're using your paintbrush, you can hold the hotkey of Control, and it will become an eyedropper tool. And you can select whatever color you want using the Control button. So if you don't have a drawing tablet, there's also these geometric tools over here that you can use to help you draw. So there's a line for a straight line, a square, a circle, a polygon, and a whole bunch of other tools to use. So when you select one of these, let's say we select the line tool, it will use the properties of whatever brush you have selected. So if I use this dark ink, it looks like that. If I use the soft ink, it looks like that. And if I use the airbrush, it looks like that. And it can also be used with your smudge tools, which is kind of interesting. So let's say you want to create a shape with the circle tool. So when you drag it out, you'll see it doesn't stay consistent. It kind of squashes and stretches. If you want it to stay a perfect circle or a perfect square, just hold down the shift key. And you'll notice when I let go, it just creates an outline. So let's say you wanted to have a filled in circle. You'd go over to your tool options right here. And if you don't see that, it's under settings, dockers, and tool options. And here you'll see what behavior your fill has and what behavior your outline has. So we can select the fill as our foreground or our background color or a pattern. We'll just select foreground color. And for the outline, we'll select no outline. So next time I create a circle, it will be filled in. If you'd like to create a shape from the center, click and hold, then hold down your control key and then drag out. And it'll drag from the center rather than from a corner. And also you can hold shift while holding control and it will keep its same proportions. Another cool option is these mirror tools up here. So if I select the horizontal mirror tool, I can create these symmetrical drawings that are the same on the left and the right side. And I can also cross over the horizontal line. So another useful feature to know about is how to manipulate your drawings. So over here we have our manipulation tools. Mostly we're just going to be using this free transform tool, which is this box with all the handles around it. You can also press the hotkey of Control T. So this tool is very useful. It's kind of a whole bunch of tools in one. For one, if you have your cursor in the middle, it'll become arrows and you can move your drawing around. If you have it on the outside of the corner, it'll turn into a rotation symbol and you can rotate your drawing. Also, if you move this anchor point in the middle by dragging it somewhere else, our rotation will happen around that anchor point. If you grab right on the corners, you'll get your scale option. And just like with other tools, if you hold shift, it'll keep the same aspect ratio. If you put your cursor on the edge right here, you can shear your drawing. And then when you're done, you just press enter and your transformation will be all done. If you didn't want to keep that transform, you just press escape and it'll reset back to its original position. If you ever do anything you didn't mean to, you can always press Ctrl Z to undo, or go to Edit, Undo, and you can press Ctrl Shift Z to redo. But let's say you didn't want to move the whole guide. Let's say you just wanted to move this arm right here. Well, we'd need to make a selection. And with that, we use our selection tools down here. The one I use most often is this one right here that looks kind of like a bean. And what this is it is a lasso tool. So you can get really specific selections with it. So we'll just select inside his arm right here, and then we'll press Ctrl T to transform it. We'll move our pivot point down to where his shoulder would be, and we can now rotate his arm, just like this. And to deselect your drawing, just press Ctrl Shift A, or go under Select and Deselect. Another useful shortcut is how to change the brush size. So right now my brush is pretty big. If I want to resize it, I can use the bracket keys and use my left bracket to go smaller, or I can use my right bracket to go bigger. So that's pretty useful. When you're ready to save your image, go up to File, Save As, and to keep your layers intact, I highly recommend saving it as a Krita document. And you'll see up here your file name with the .kra extension. This will keep all your layers and all your information in your drawing intact, but you won't be able to upload it or use it on the internet. So to do that, we want to save it as a PNG. So we're going to go up to File, and you can either use Save As or Export. I'm going to select Export. And down here, we're going to select PNG. So that'll give you the option of using transparency if you want it, and it's also a really good file format. So we'll make sure it ends in PNG and click Save. And it'll give you a little pop-up menu. I would probably just leave all this by default and just press OK. And now we can use that PNG image to send to our grandma or upload wherever we want to on the internet. So to begin animating, we're going to want a few different tools. We're going to want to go up to Settings, Dockers, and there's 3 Dockers that we want to grab for animation. First off, we want to grab the timeline, probably the most important one. So that'll appear at the bottom here. We also want to grab our Settings, Dockers, and Onion Skin. This is how we're going to see the drawings that come before, which is super important for animation. And we're also going to go up to Settings, Dockers, and Animation. So I don't really like this layout. It kind of puts everything just in whatever blocks. If you want to move some windows around, you just click on the name and drag it where you want it to go. I usually like to put my onion skin over here, and then I like to drag my animation window, and if I select over the onion skin, it'll highlight the onion skin, and that way it gets dropped into the same window. So now I can switch between onion skin mode and animation mode. So in the animation window, you can see what frame you're currently on, how many frames long your animation is, controls to play your animation, how fast your animation will play in your preview, and what frame rate your animation is at. The higher the frame rate, the faster your animation will be, and the lower it is, the slower your animation will be. Over here are buttons for editing your frames. The first one is to create a new frame, the second one is to copy your frame, and the third one is to remove a frame. This onion icon just turns on and off your onion skin window. This second in the middle on the bottom button is called Auto Frame. And what this does is if you're animating on your timeline and you go to a spot where there's no frame and start drawing, it will create a frame automatically. So I like to leave this on. And the third option on the bottom is Drop Frames. Now what this means is your animation will try to play at the correct speed. And in order to keep up, depending on how fast your computer is, it might drop frames to keep up with the same speed. And I prefer getting accurate timing in my animation even if it drops a couple frames, so I like to leave this on. In the onion skin window, you can select how many frames before and how many frames after your animation shows you. So for example, if I'm on this frame and I turn my onion skin on by clicking this little light bulb down here next to my layer, I'll see 3 drawings before and 3 drawings after. And I can toggle how many frames are showing by clicking these buttons on the top, and I can also change the opacity of these onion skins by dragging these bars up and down. But usually I like to leave it just by default. You can also choose different colors by changing these colors down here, or removing the colored effect entirely by turning the tint off and on. So let's get started animating. Now before you can do any animation whatsoever, you have to go down to your timeline and right click and say New Frame. If you do this after completing your drawing, you'll have to copy and paste it into your new frame because it will erase your artwork. So we want to make sure and select New Frame before we even get started. And you'll see a blue square appear, as well as some additional options appear on the left here, namely this light bulb, which is your onion skin. You can also lock transparency, lock the layer using this padlock, or turn on and off visibility using this eyeball here. So to create a new frame, we're going to right-click Frame 2 and select New Frame. Or, since our Auto Frame mode is turned on, I can press the Delete key, and that both removes my artwork and creates a new frame for me to draw in. So to see my previous frame, I need to turn on my onion skin. So I click this little light bulb down here on the bottom left, and you'll see my previous drawing appears in red. So let's do our second drawing. And to move frame by frame through your animation, it's the left and right keys. If I want to delete a frame, I just right-click on that frame and say Remove Frame, or I can use this Remove Frame button down here. So I'm going to move one frame to the right, press Delete again to remove that frame, and you'll see my previous two drawings showing up, and then I'm going to draw my third frame. So now I have 3 frames of an animation. So I'm just going to keep going forward by pressing right and then delete and then drawing my next frame. And I'm just going to follow the motion and see where this line ends up. This is what's called straight ahead animation, where you start at the beginning and you just animate straight ahead. You don't plan any poses or anything. It's a great method for more fluid motions like, say, dancing or other organic movements. Whereas for something like an acting shot, it's most common to do pose-to-pose method, where you plan out your storytelling poses and then you in-between it afterwards. So now we finished our animation. We can drag our playhead by scrubbing the top up where the numbers are and scrubbing through our animation this way. And if we play our animation by clicking this playhead right here, you can see what our animation does. And you'll see it keeps on playing, and that's because my end frame is at frame 100. So really I want my animation to end at frame 28. So I'm going to change that to 28, and now when I play it, at the end it'll loop back to the beginning. If you wanted to import audio into your animation, we simply go down to your timeline, and there's this little speaker button that we click, and then go to Open Audio, and then select your audio file, click Open, and now when you scrub through your timeline,
gee, it sure is boring around here.
You'll be able to hear your audio, and because you can scrub, it allows you to hear what sound is playing, and you'll be able to draw mouth shapes to it. And then when you're done with your lip sync,
Gee, it sure is boring around here.
Usually it's a good practice to take all of your lip sync and move it 2 frames to the left. So we'll select it all, and we'll move it 2 frames to the left. So when we play it,
Gee, it sure is boring around here.
It'll match up a bit better. If you didn't want this audio anymore, or you wanted to change its settings, you'd go down to the speaker button again, and you can mute your audio, change the audio, or remove your audio, or adjust how loud or how soft it is. So that's how to do some quick lip sync. So to navigate your timeline, you can either drag this playhead up here, or drag this horizontal scroll bar here, or some hotkeys to know are space and right click, and that'll zoom your timeline in and out, and space and left click will pan your timeline so you can go further down in time. So here's how to manipulate your frames. You can drag a frame around simply by clicking and dragging it and dropping it into place. If you want to select multiple frames to move, you can either use Control-click to select individual frames, or you can select a beginning frame and select an end frame with Shift-click. And then to move a group of frames, just click and drag it where you want it to be. You can copy frames by clicking and dragging while holding the Control button, and you'll see your cursor has a little plus sign at the bottom right, and then when you let go, you'll see that you've copied this frame, and this works for individual frames or a group of frames. So let's say you wanted to do an in-between between these 2 drawings here. A really useful shortcut to know is Alt-drag, which moves down your entire timeline. So I can select the frame afterwards, hold down Alt and drag to the right, and it will move my entire timeline down to the right. So now I can select this blank spot, press Delete to create a new frame, turn on my onion skin, and I can now draw my in-between. And in Krita, you'll notice when I have a new frame, that frame will hold until a new frame takes its place. So if you wanted something to disappear, you would have to create a new frame. So you can either use the delete method, or you could just right-click and say New Frame, and when that blank frame comes on, your drawing will disappear. You can also color code your animation by right-clicking on a frame and then selecting a color. So I like to use red for my storytelling or extreme poses, and this dark blue for my breakdown drawings. So this can be a useful way to organize your animation. If you want to remove the color, just select the frame, right-click, and click this little X right here, and it'll reset back to the default color. So let's create a new layer to add on to this animation. So if I go down to my Layers panel and I click New Layer, you'll notice that all my frames have disappeared. And here it's saying layer 3 instead of my layer 2, which had animation on it. So if I select layer 2, I'll see my frames are still there, and my animation hasn't gone anywhere. But when I select my layer 3, my other layer doesn't show. Well, this is a feature in Krita to keep from having so many layers displayed at once. Animation can be kind of cumbersome that way. So instead, what you want to do is for every layer that you want to work on, you want to right-click that layer and select Show in Timeline. And I'll do the same for my layer number 2. Right-click and say Show in Timeline. And now, no matter which of these layers I pick, both of these layers will show. They're both permanently stuck there, as long as that Show in Timeline checkmark is checked. So now, remember, before I can do any drawing, I have to create a new frame. So I'll right-click down here and select New Frame, and now I can start animating on this new layer. And I'll start drawing the same kind of animation, using the same technique of pressing right and then delete to delete my artwork, and turning on my onion skin so I can see my previous frame, and just doing some straight ahead animation. So now we have two animations on two different layers. So when working with multiple layers, it's important to keep note of where this orange circle is. This will show you both what frame you're on, as well as what layer you're currently editing. So if I wanted to draw something on my black line layer, I'd have to either select the layer name right here, or in my Layers panel, or I can also use the hotkey of Page Up and Page Down to select what layer I'm currently on. When you're done with your animation and want to export it out to YouTube, just go up to File, Render Animation. So you'll get this pop-up menu, and what you want to do is you want to check Render to export it as a video. And for Render As, you could either do a GIF image or an MP4 video. We're going to do MP4 since we plan on uploading it to YouTube, and we'll choose where our file is by clicking this select file name. We'll just save it to our temp folder, and we'll call it Ball, and save that. So you'll see here FFmpeg is blank, and what happens when we click OK is we'll get an error message. So it'll say, please install FFmpeg, and it'll give you a link to click on. So we'll go ahead and click that. So when we're on FFmpeg's website, we're going to click Download to go to the Download section. And since we're on Windows, we're going to select our Windows operating system, and we'll select Windows Builds, click that. And then on this website, we're going to make sure we're on 64-bit, or if you're on 32-bit, you could select that as well. And we'll make sure that this is the static version, which it's highlighted right now. It is the static version, so we'll just go ahead and click Download Build. And we'll save that into our Downloads folder. And then if you aren't able to double click on this to open it, I would recommend checking out 7-Zip, which is a free unzipping program. So inside of it, you'll see a folder. Drag this folder out onto the C drive. You'll now have this FFmpeg folder. Let's rename it something simpler, like FFmpeg. Then we'll double click on that, double click on bin, and then we're going to select the top address bar up here, and we're going to right click and copy this address bar. Then we're going to right click where it says this PC or my PC or my computer, and we're going to go down to properties. And then with this properties window open, we're going to go to advanced system settings. Then in this window, we're going to go to environment variables. I know. But luckily when this is all done, you won't have to worry about it. So now with this window, we want to go down to where it says path, and then we want to click edit. And then another window will open, and we want to create a new path. So we're going to click our new button, and then we're going to paste our copied address, which is c:/FFmpeg/bin. Then we're going to click off of it, click OK, click OK, click OK, close our Windows property, and that should be all you have to do. If you want to test it, you can open up your command prompt by typing in CMD into your start menu, clicking on command prompt. And that'll open up your command prompt. Then what you can do is you can type in ffmpeg-version. And if it's installed correctly, you'll get a bunch of gobbledygook explaining what version you installed. So it looks like everything's working correctly, so we can go ahead and close that and go back to Krita. And for the FFmpeg folder, we're going to click this folder icon, and we'll navigate to the C drive. We'll double click on FFmpeg, double click on bin, and then select ffmpeg.exe and click open, and then we'll press OK. So here it exported a PNG sequence, and it also exported our MP4 file, which we can upload to YouTube or send through email. It's pretty short, so it doesn't last very long, but if you press Ctrl L in QuickTime to loop it, you'll see our bouncing ball animation. Pretty cool, not too bad for your first animation. If you want to continue learning animation, I highly recommend checking out the Animator Survival Kit. It's a book I wish I had when I was a kid. It goes over everything from walk cycles to four-legged animals to how to break down timing charts and animate like the old Disney pros. Link is in the description below. And that's it! I can't wait to see what you guys work on with this. Krita is one of my favorite programs to animate in. If you have anything you'd like to show off or you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel to stay updated on future tutorials. And if you like my work, consider supporting me on Patreon. Even $1 per month helps out so much, and I really appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out, and until next time, bye-bye!